himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And that's talking about the children of Israel. So when the Lord divided and separated the nations with much knowledge, okay, he chose the children of Israel to be on top, high above everybody else. Okay? Keep reading.
But some of them have he cursed.
Call it and read. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse
12.
12. Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them have he sanctified and set near unto himself.
And we read that. It's the children of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Keep reading.
But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places.
And that's the so-called white man. Okay, he's cursed. His appearance alone is a curse that the Lord placed on him. Okay? Because everybody in the earth has some form of melanin or hue in their skin, which they receive vitamins like vitamin D and health benefits from the sun. They lack that. Therefore, they suffer what? Skin cancer. They get sunburnt. Okay, because according to the Bible, they have leprosy. Because when you read in the scriptures, like when Aaron and Miriam came up against Moses because he was dealing with a Cushite woman in Numbers chapter 12, the Lord gave Miriam leprosy. She became white as snow. That's a curse. Okay? But our people, mainly the Negroes in the West Islands and West Indies, they be bleaching their skin. Now they getting skin cancer. Because they've been brainwashed, man. They think that being the way they look and who they are is something evil. When really they are the royal people, man.
What faith are y'all?
We deal with the scriptures. Israelites. Okay. We ain't with no church. We ain't like these pastors out here. So these pastors want more in scriptures and break down certain things like we're reading about now, how the Lord divided the nations. And a great example is when he first divided them with the tongues back in the Tower of Babel. Okay? When Nimrod had set up the Tower of Babel, and everybody's on one language and stuff, what happened? The Lord split the tongues. That was one way of him separating the people. Okay? Then he separated us by our nationalities. Okay? So these people out here, like I said, that whole vibration of I have a dream speech, which in the scriptures it said, yeah, get it again, Jeremiah 23:25, that he was prophesying lies. Because what good or benefit have it brought to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to mingle amongst the Caucasians? They taught them, they said, hey, it's all right to be a homosexual, a sodomite. It's okay for your woman to be to dress like a whore. In the 50s, our women wasn't dressing like that. They wore long dresses. They was in order. They wasn't bucking up against a man. That whole female, what's it called? Feminist movement, that was started by a so-called white woman that got into the minds of these simple-minded Negro women to tell them that they should be equal with a man. That's not in the scriptures, okay? And now you have all this chaos amongst our people.
Jeremiah 23:25. I have heard what the prophets say, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
Isn't that the title of his speech? That was the first two sentences he said when he started speaking up there in Washington, D.C. in front of the Washington Monument, which is really an obelisk that was brought from Egypt to America. So that whole thing was demonic, okay? And if you do research, you know about the Boule. The Boule. Okay, it's a secret society where they invite these Negro men to get amongst it. Like, for an example, you got a lot of these influential black people that set up, mainly men and women, that have a voice or some type of influence over our people. They're part of the Boule. It's like the black version of the Skull and Bones with Yale, like with which these white Freemasons get into. And what they do, they're basically set up to pacify and to mislead our people and to not coming back to the truth. Like you got Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther, I keep calling him Martin Luther King Jr., okay? Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all right, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, who else? There's a lot of these people up here that have high influence, and what they do, they teach our people, oh, you should just march. So like when our people end up getting gunned down or destroyed in the streets, or something ill happens to them, they always send those guys in, and they always talking about marching and doing this and that. They're set up to pacify our people. Okay, like when you had all them cops gunning down just this past year, it was like high numbers of cops shooting down black men. Some of them was guilty, some of them was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right, then you had our people start getting rowdy, and who do they send? Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. And then they talking about marching and raising money. You saw that with the Trayvon Martin thing. Niggas eating Skittles and drinking Lipton's tea. Like what is that going to do benefiting our people? Besides telling them that's in the scriptures, that's part of our punishment, that we wouldn't have insurance of our life in this society. So all them niggas, they gonna die, man. They gonna die. Because they got a lot of blood on their hands. Okay? But you should do some research on that. It's called a boule. Boule. Alright.
Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with their covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, and that's what them pastors do. Or so-called reverends and stuff. They teaching our people to sin. And sin is transgressions of the law, or the scriptures. Like for an example, eating pork. Our people suffer from diabetes, gout, what's another one? High blood pressure, bad cholesterol, what's it called when they swell? You know what I'm talking about? Inflammation, thank you. From eating pork, okay? But yet, it's in the Bible, the Lord said don't eat pork. But then them pastors, they teach them, say, oh, the law's done away with. You can eat whatever you want, just pray over it. That's not in the scriptures. The Lord said, these things you can eat, these things you ain't supposed to eat. And when you do research on like animals like the pig, they were never created to be consumed. They were created just to keep the ecosystem of that particular area where they was herding and stuff, to keep it clean, because they eat feces and dead things. So if you're going to eat that, you're going to put that in your body and it brings death on you.
Do y'all speak Hebrew?
We speak a little bit.
Y'all still learning more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got a Hebrew Bible. It's my next endeavor as I move forward towards the truth.
Towards the truth? You know about the Israelites?
Well, the Hebrews, Israelites. You got a whole bunch of different nations now that are speaking out, going through the scriptures line by line, precept by precept.
Yeah.
So just as believers, though, you'll understand that some of the Christians are only being misled, but they're still believers. And you'll find them in a lot of that's a whole nother level too of Christian when you talk about Christians, because then we can bring back Roman Catholic, how they got here, how the name even was established. But regardless of that, believers, faith, true believers, brothers and sisters in the faith, believe in the scriptures, live by the scriptures, and want to die for the scriptures.
Yeah.
That time is coming.
Yeah, and that's what we out here, because the topic we're going to get, and we was just touching on a few points, because that's the whole main point of that whole speech, was to basically try to mingle or unify the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because you did have the Latinos rising up as well with the blacks at that time. And they were ready to take it to the white man, but then you had, like I said, you had him, Martin Luther King, and then you had other leaders set up that kind of quarried that down, which that was all prophecy. All right, but the Lord, what He gonna do? You've been keeping up with the news?
A little bit.
Okay, you know that Obama, he had passed an executive order to basically put more restrictions on the Second Amendment, and soon he want to do away with it. Now these Caucasians, they trust in their guns, because gun sales, one, Gun sales rose when he first came in. First, when he was elected a candidate to run for